Many travelers dream of experiencing the beauty of Tanzania, from its stunning national parks to vibrant cultural sites. Yet the costs often seem overwhelming. But with Visit Tanzania for Less, exploring this East African gem on a budget is not only possible, but incredibly rewarding. Whether you're a solo backpacker, a volunteer, or just a budget-conscious traveler, we provide valuable insights and resources to make your journey unforgettable without breaking the bank. Book your trip now with just a $300 deposit and flexible monthly payments until your travel date. For more travel inspiration and tips, follow us on Instagram or visit us at visittanzaniaforless.com. Visit Tanzania for Less, your dream adventure within reach.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Community Focus. It is 2 p.m.ish in Muskegon Heights, Michigan. My name is Melvin Burns. As you may know, I am one of the co-hosts of our program Community Focus here at 103.7 The Beat, WUVS. My co-host returned last week, Gregory T. Roberts, and then he took off. He will be back with us next week. He had a family obligation, but we were certainly glad to have Greg back on the program with us. And so I am yet flying solo today. If my picture looks strange to you, I am not in our lovely studio at the Mays and Wright Media Center. I am actually in Lansing, Michigan. I had a family funeral to attend today, so I'm coming to you remote, but nonetheless, we'll bring you a quality program for sure. As I usually start the program, I give you a 5 list. Had to go to a family funeral today. Thought I would give you a 5 list today that may be a little bit familiar with you. If you recall this, 5 stages of grief or 5 stages of loss. Those stages, again, there's denial, there's anger, there's bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Now, again, we talk about those 5 stages, and that comes from the tremendous work that was done by Helen Kubler-Ross years ago, but people don't always go through those steps one after the other. They may go through multiple steps at the same time. They may skip a step. They may go to a step, regress, and go back to others. So be patient. But from years of observation, those are generally the steps that people go through when they're dealing with loss of a loved one. As we've learned and lived through life, sometimes we go through those same stages. When marriage is in, when we lose jobs, and we have other tragedies in our life. So again, they kind of broadened it from stages of death to grief of death, but just grief of certain loss. So that's our 5 list for today. Simple, one's been around for a while. Hopefully it helps somebody who might need that information today. Let's give you some weather. There in Muskegon, we have a low of 39 and a high of 49. And we should get a little sunshine out there today. On Saturday, a low of 34, high of 54. It's feeling a little bit like spring, isn't it? Sunday, while we have a 100% chance of rain, we have a low of 46 and a high of 62. On Monday, we expect more rain, low of 50, high of 62. And on Tuesday, a low of 51, a high of 60. Expect more rain. Wednesday, guess what? More rain, low of 49, high of 57. And next Thursday, more rain, low of 44, high of 54. So a little more spring-like weather, which also brings a little more spring-like rain. But April showers supposedly bring May flowers. Speaking of May flowers and things looking nice for the spring, it is my pleasure to bring to you our guest for today.
Hello.
Hello. Folks, let me introduce you to our guest in the studio today. Her name is Sara Sherwood, and she is the engagement coordinator for Lakeshore United Way. Good afternoon.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good to have you on the program today. I'm sorry I'm not there in the studio with you. I always enjoy meeting the guests in person, but we'll make this work for everybody anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah, tell people a little bit about yourself and your background and how you came to Lakeshore United Way.
Yeah. As you said, my name is Sara. I am almost a lifelong resident of Muskegon. I grew up in the Wolf Lake area.
Okay.
And then I started working for United Way of the Lakeshore about 3 years ago as the community engagement coordinator. And there I run our volunteer center, which serves Muskegon, Newaygo, and Oceana counties.
Okay. And so we have some exciting things coming up at United Way we want to talk about a little bit today. I want you to tell folks about that.
Yeah, coming up in 2 weeks from today, we have our annual Day of Caring for Muskegon County. And a Day of Caring is a day of service where we bring hundreds of volunteers together at sites across the county to make an impact.
Okay. And where are two sites this year?
We're doing 18 sites.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think about memory. I said two, and I didn't ask you how many. 18.
Yes, we have 18
Oh, my
total sites
goodness.
across the county. So I'm really excited. This is quite a lot for me. It's not the most we've ever done, but it's the most I have ever done.
Wow. 18 sites. Wow. Well, if you got a list there, we want to hear them all. And we can talk
I
about
didn't
a
bring the
couple of
list with me, but I'll do my best to
them.
remember them
You actually have them memorized right at this point.
Yeah, here in Muskegon Heights, we'll be at Reed Muskegon, helping them pack up and move to their new location, which is really
Awesome.
exciting to get to
Yes.
support them with that. We'll also
Yes.
be at Bethlehem Community Park, putting in a brand new bike rack and supporting with some park improvements. And speaking of parks, we're also going to be at Pine Park in Fruitport Township. I'm
Okay.
really excited about that project. It's going to be some playground improvements and painting some sensory pathways along the sidewalks and concrete areas. So, really making it engaging for kids who visit the park. Also in Fruitport, we will be doing the beach schools softball fields,
Okay.
installing their scoreboard and signs, and doing some field improvements. We'll be in the Montague area at YMCA Camp Pendaluan and at Oak Grove Cemetery. At
Okay.
the cemetery, we'll be doing veteran headstone cleaning, so really honoring our veterans
Yes.
and military families through gently cleaning their monuments in their memory.
Mm-hmm.
We'll also be up in that area at Pioneer Trails, which is a
Okay.
camp owned by Pioneer Resources.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
we have a lot of projects in the city of Muskegon and Muskegon Charter Township.
Okay.
We will, now I'm trying to remember them all. We're going to be at several community gardens. One is
Okay.
the Saturday Breakfast Garden, which is right across the street from First Congregational Church.
Yes.
We will be at Heritage Memorial Garden on Western, and we'll be at the Angel Grows Community Garden, which is right behind Health West in the Angel neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
We'll also be at Habitat for Humanity, helping with a build of their brand new Muskegon County home, which is really exciting because this is their first build here in Muskegon County for that particular Habitat for Humanity.
Okay.
And
Some others will come
yes,
to.
yeah, there's a lot.
Well, that's all. How many? Well, let's back up. Tell people what the Day of Caring is and how it kind of came about and what we're trying to accomplish on this day.
Yeah, United Way of the Lakeshore has been doing Day of Caring since the 90s.
Mhm.
It's really changed over the years. A lot of what United Way does is really listen to the community and adapt based on our needs. So Day of Caring used to be one site where volunteers would all show up to one location, do a day of service together, and then it simply just got too big. More and more volunteers started joining us, and there wasn't enough room at one site. So
Yeah.
now we go to multiple sites, and it's really a partnership with our nonprofit agencies here in the community, as well as
Mhm.
green spaces. And this year, our focus is really on youth and family engagement, as
Mhm.
well as sustainability. So April 24th, the day of Caring, is also Arbor Day, and it's Global Youth Service Day. So we really want to engage students and youth and families and do projects that are just going to make our community a greener and healthier place to live.
Well, it's funny. You don't hear people talk about Arbor Day a whole lot.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, I've heard it. Maybe it's making a resurgence. You know, I'm old enough. I remember when Arbor Day used to be a thing. But that's kind of neat. We're doing Arbor Day, kind of bring attention back to this whole idea of
Mhm.
doing some with green space and gardens and flowers. So that'd be nice. How Do you got a handle on how many volunteers you have at all these projects so far?
Yeah, we'll have about 400 volunteers.
Wow.
Yep. It's
That's,
very exciting. And they come from schools, corporate businesses, service clubs, and just individual community members who wanted to give back for a day.
um, that's awesome. So how do you decide what projects to take on? I'm sure you probably get still more proposed projects than you can do in a day.
Yeah, we have an application and nomination process. So anybody in the community can nominate a project. That's how Bethlehem Community Park came to be. Somebody just saw a need there and nominated them. A
Hmm.
nonprofit organization can also apply on their own behalf. So, like with Pioneer Trails, Pioneer Resources reached out and asked if it would be possible if we went there. So, and then a committee of volunteers goes through all the applications, follows up with additional questions, and then approves the project. And then as more volunteers sign up, we're able to add more projects. So that's how we ended up with 18.
Okay. Now, some of these projects, like helping Reed Muskegon, who's one of our neighbors there on Peg,
Yeah.
pack up and move. We need boxes, we need volunteers, but some of these projects take some dollars to do.
Yes.
Okay, so we know the money doesn't fall out the sky and grow on trees. Where are we getting the dollars to support these projects?
We're really grateful to our sponsors. Our premier sponsor this year is DTE Foundation.
Awesome.
So they are supporting all three of our days of counting, days of caring in Muskegon County, and then also in September when we do Newaygo and Oceana counties.
Okay.
And then here in Muskegon, we're also supported by the Michigan Community Service Commission as a part of their Global Youth Service Day grant process. So we're really excited to have them as a supporter this year, and to have the support from the Global Youth Service Day Foundation.
Okay. So we got 400 plus volunteers at 18 sites around Muskegon County on Saturday the 24th.
Friday the 24th.
Friday. I'm sorry, Friday.
Yeah.
What time? So what time of day are we looking at? Does all this taking place? We got some set hours.
Yep, it's an all-day project. Volunteers will meet at Muskegon Community College, who's our co-host this year, at 8 a.m., where they all receive a breakfast courtesy of our friends at Muskegon Host Lions Club,
Awesome.
pancakes and sausage. It's always a big hit. We'll have a little gathering and everybody comes to that. So that's the one time during the day that all of our volunteers will be in one location to gather and celebrate together. We'll have some inspiring words in the morning, a moment of silence, and the national anthem. And we'll do a group stretch that's led by our friends at Consumers Energy, which is always a really fun part of the day. Everybody looks forward to the group stretch.
Yes.
And then around 9 a.m., everybody will leave and they'll go to their project sites. And they'll be there for the remainder of the day. They all get served lunch while they're there, snacks, bottled water, coffee, all that stuff. Everybody gets a really fun T-shirt, courtesy of our friends at DTE Foundation. So it's just a really good day to gather together, to learn about other nonprofit organizations in our community, and to team build. Honestly, our corporate partners really use this as an opportunity for their teams to gather together outside of work and really bond.
Okay. But folks might be listening to, wow, this sounds good. Is it too late to come out and help with one of those projects?
No, it's never too late. You could sign up the day of if you really want to.
So I mean, it's good to get a
yeah.
if folks want to contact you, maybe say heard some of the projects or wonder if there's some in the area,
Mhm.
can they contact?
Yeah, they can contact me directly by phone or email. My number is 231-332-4010. You can also visit our website. There's a Day of Caring webpage on the main website, and then also on our volunteer website, which is volunteer.unitedwaylakeshore.org.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay. I don't know if it's me or you. I lost you froze and I lost you for a
Oh, there we go.
Okay. We're at the mercy of the internet.
Yes.
My niece Harrison says Sarah is amazing in organizing a Day of Caring. This such a great event for our community, says Lisa Tyler. You have some fans
Yeah.
for comedy. So I'm sorry. Let's go back, because you may have said it. If folks are interested, what's the number to reach you?
231-332-4010.
Okay, and it's not too late to sign up. They can even sign up as late as the day of the event.
Yep, they may not get a t-shirt, but we will happily welcome them in on the day of.
Well, let's call it an event so you can make sure you get the T-shirt so you can
Yeah, yeah.
have the experience. No, so how many years have you done this, Sarah?
This will be my 3rd year.
Okay, so what is your? I mean, tell us about your experience after having done this for a couple of years. The lead up to it, the day of the event. What's been your highlights? What's some things about that really made an impression on you?
I think it's just really exciting to see how much buy-in people have in it. The volunteers who have been doing this for years, like years before I even started at United Way, and how excited they get to be there on the day of, how they feel honored to be asked to serve. And it
Mm-hmm.
just really reminds me what a beautiful community we live in. We
Yes.
truly are a community where neighbors help neighbors and where we
Mm-hmm.
lift each other up. And Day of Caring is such a nice reminder for me to really see that in action.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like, how can I do more? How can I keep volunteering for this organization once I learn about it? And it just feels like such a win every year at the end of the day.
So do you find you get a lot of people once they do it one time, they want to come back the next year?
Yeah, they want to come back the next year, or they want to continue to volunteer throughout the year.
Okay.
I'll always have a lot of people after the fact either be connected with an organization like Reed Muskegon, for example,
Mm-hmm.
or last year we had a team at the Salvation Army. 2 of those volunteers have continued to volunteer there every Monday since.
Oh,
And I
awesome.
know that only sounds like it's 2 people, but
If you've ever worked at a
yeah,
nonprofit needing volunteers, that's
yeah.
two people. Yes.
And for them to return every Monday for the last year to help that organization out, it just really truly feels like a win.
Yes.
And I know that we'll see that this year too. The volunteers will be connected with these nonprofit organizations or these green spaces. They'll feel a sense of pride for working there for a day, and they'll want to continue to give back throughout the year if they can.
Yeah. You said something earlier on. You said, no, it's not just a chance to go out and do some volunteer work, but you get to meet the agency staff and
Mhm.
interact with them, and you find out how driven these people are for their missions. And you get a chance to learn a little bit more about what they do, which is like the extra bonus of not just getting the work
Mhm.
done. But you learn about some of these organizations that are in your communities.
Yes. Yeah. And really engaging more youth volunteers has been
Hmm.
exciting because
Yeah.
you can encourage them at a young age to get involved, and
Hmm.
then hopefully it leads to a lifetime of service.
Yes. Yes. Now you talked about you, and you this is your 3rd year, but how have you seen it evolve over the time, even that you've been there?
I see a lot more families participating
Mm.
as groups, which is really exciting. I
Yes.
love the idea of parents wanting their kids to be more involved and them going out and bonding as a family unit
Hmm.
by volunteering together. And I think that's been a really nice thing to see kind of grow and evolve over the past few years.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. I know a lot. We've had discussions with a lot of parents. We struggle with how to get our kids involved in volunteerism.
Mhm.
So that's really nice to hear.
Yeah, and the schools are really supportive of it. If the families want their kids to be out of school for the day to volunteer, we don't really get any pushback on that. The schools wanna see their students, participate.
Okay. So, Sarah, I ask people this question all the time, whether they're businesses, volunteers. If you could just close your eyes and dream and they said, Sarah, you know what? This year we got a blank check from one of our donors. What do you want to do on the day of caring? If you could dream, what would you want to see the day of caring go and expand to?
Oh, gosh. Well, I would love to see us do even more sites. I
Mhm.
This year, we had so many applications that we couldn't do all of them. So if
Sure.
I had a blank check, I would do all of them,
Uh-huh.
right? If somebody
Yeah.
took the time to nominate a project or to apply, it's because they truly believe that volunteers could come in and make a difference. So if we had that blank check, I would go help everybody that applied.
Great, great. Now, just to make sure people are prepared, they can call the number. We've got it going across the screen.
Mhm.
Um, Anything special they need to wear or dress for that day, need to bring with them?
Yep, I most of the projects are outdoors, so I recommend checking the weather report and dressing in
Mhm.
layers for the weather. Closed-toed shoes are always a nice bonus, and if you have your own work or garden gloves, bringing those along so that you don't have to use a donated pair
Mhm.
would be appreciated. Otherwise, dress comfortably, prepare for the weather, wear sunscreen, drink water.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Always good advice.
In
Uh,
April, you never know what the weather is gonna be
yeah,
like.
it could be 70, it could be 20. We just don't know.
Yeah.
Dress in layers, as I used to always say.
Yeah, dress in layers.
Yeah. So 2 weeks away, what do the next 2 weeks entail for you as we get closer to the date?
Just making sure we have all the supplies ready for all of the projects, that we
Mhm.
have T-shirts going out to all of our volunteers so they're prepared with them before the day of, signing up any last-minute volunteers, and communicating with all of the sites to make sure that they're ready.
Okay. And then on the 25th, what do you do?
Rest.
Collapse?
Yeah.
That's good. And I think some of your coworkers are just saying tremendous things about you. For you, what is it for you at the end of Saturday or Friday? I keep saying Saturday. What do you call a success?
Well, I think just making it to the end of the day, um, I would argue that I already feel successful.
Great, great.
Just because we have hundreds of volunteers already registered and excited to participate.
Hmm.
We have our 18 sites already picked out and ready to go. And we're already starting to hear excitement about our other 2 days of caring that'll happen in September. So
Okay.
it's really exciting to just kind of see the momentum from Muskegon's Day of Caring
Yes.
carry over into those other communities.
Awesome. So again, we'll have the Muskegon Day of Caring, April 24th.
Mhm.
Then September, you said it's Newaygo and
Oceana counties.
Oceana County. And
Yep.
so you do get to do all this again.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a
Yep.
tremendous amount of work, but thank God you're doing this and just a tremendous day for our community.
It
Uh,
really is.
yeah, that's exciting. Sarah, thank you for coming and sharing this with us. We're excited about this. We've got the number going across the bottom of the screen. Anything I forget to ask you? Want to make sure we tell people about the Day of Caring.
Just I hope that people can join us, and even if you can't and you're interested in volunteering more in the community, you can still reach out to me, and I would be happy to help partner you with an organization that could use your skills.
Okay. Now I know, and I asked you earlier, but as director of engagement, there are other events. We don't have to talk about the other things, but
Mhm.
there's other events you're involved in other than Day of Caring, correct?
Yes, yeah, we're getting ready for Earth Day, lots of volunteer opportunities for Earth Day, and then we are hosting a party in the park this year. As a part of
Oh,
Parties in the Park, we'll need
yes.
lots of volunteers for that, and our date is July 24th, and our band is a Journey tribute band.
Oh, okay. So now part of your role, you'll be getting volunteers and organizing those
Mhm.
events as well.
Yep, and helping, the other festivals and other parties at Party in the Park recruit their volunteers.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you can't volunteer for hours, I would love to help set you up with one of the other ones.
Oh, great. So you'll be busy all summer, huh?
Yes, that's the busy time. Day
Yeah.
of Caring starts it off, and then it doesn't really
Okay.
slow down.
Good. Good. That's exciting, folks. We hope that you'll, as you hear this, give some thought to coming out and just lending a hand to your community. I'll say personally, again, Reed Muskegon is a neighbor of ours. We're a couple of doors down, so we'll be able to go over and lend a hand with their move. So I guess they're pretty close to being in their building.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think they're just gonna get the keys on May 1st, so a lot of what we'll be doing on April 24th is really helping them prepare, and anybody that's ever moved before knows how much work that is.
yeah, moving is still moving. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Again, Sarah, thank you so much for joining us. It's just been a pleasure. We hope that folks will come out. I'm old enough actually to remember when Day of Care started in the 90s. It's like everybody interview now. I'm like, I remember when that started, but it's amazing to see how it's evolved. Yeah, again, I said two sites because I remember when there was two sites, but 18 sites is just tremendous, and
Mhm.
giving people an opportunity to just get out and kind of get their hands on doing some grassroots work for
Many travelers dream of experiencing the beauty of Tanzania, from its stunning national parks to vibrant cultural sites, yet the costs often seem overwhelming. But with Visit Tanzania for Less, exploring this East African gem on a budget is not only possible, but incredibly rewarding. Whether you're a solo backpacker, a volunteer, or just a budget-conscious traveler, we provide valuable insights and resources to make your journey unforgettable without breaking the bank. Book your trip now with just a $300 deposit and flexible monthly payments until your travel date. For more travel inspiration and tips, follow us on Instagram or visit us at visittanzaniaforless.com. Visit Tanzania for Less, your dream adventure within reach.
As an Olympic athlete, I prepare for everything. So when I became pregnant, I thought I was ready. But at 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with severe preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Looking back, had I known the warning signs, I would have talked to my doctor sooner. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
When smoking gives you COPD, you learn to lie a little bit. You make up excuses like, I have to get my keys. You guys go on. Anything so you can walk at your own pace. I used to do that all the time. Those lies don't work anymore. My tip is, the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Like smoking isn't that dangerous.
You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
As an Olympic athlete, I prepare for everything. So when I became pregnant, I thought I was ready. But at 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with severe preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Looking back, had I known the warning signs, I would have talked to my doctor sooner. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
Okay, I am so sorry. I'm going to have to apologize again. I am not in the studio today, so we are sort of at the mercy of the technology here, and I lost my feed for a little bit. So again, I apologize for our listeners and viewers, but we're just going to keep doing the best we can with what we have available to us today. If I can get a little maybe help from the studio staff. Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, sir. How about you?
Good. I apologize for having a little problem with the technology. I'm not in the studio today, so hopefully won't have any more interruptions.
No problem.
Okay. Why don't you introduce yourself to our guest today?
My name is Rob Mathis.
Go ahead, Rob.
I am the founder of City Boy Corp in North Muskegon.
Okay. And for people that don't know what City Boy Corp is, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
City Boy is an organization that my wife and I founded during the pandemic to help people. It started off just helping people, at the beginning with lunches. We started off making lunches for 3 months, just trying to help families out, and people asked us, could we help with other things? And the mission just grew and grew until we had a nonprofit.
Okay. And what kind of things are we doing? And once you've got the nonprofit form, what kind of things are we doing today?
Okay, so we help people with food, clothing, furniture, appliances, housewares, basically everything you need in a household. And we get those through donations in the community. So families buy new furniture and they donate the old furniture to us. And we have clients that's in a list that we donate, we give it right to them.
Okay, so you talk about this, this started in the pandemic. What was that born out of? Just a need you see, or you have a background of community activism or something?
During the pandemic, my wife and I was sitting on the couch and we was watching the news, and they had just closed the schools. So we was thinking like, wow, all these kids gonna be out of school. And usually mom and dad depends on the kids to get breakfast and lunch. So that was my motivation right there. Like, man, these kids at home, mostly mom and dad, only thing they planned for was the dinner during the course of the week. So we was like, what could we do to help the families? So we reached out to our friends on Facebook and said that we want to make lunches. So we got donations, enough donations where we made lunches for 3 months. They was coming in every day. People was bringing, so much food to our home, and we just made lunches, went out to the bus stops, and gave them away.
Okay. And so, and from that account, just, one thing is once you start helping people, there's always more need than you have. So it kind of grew to other things from there.
Yes.
Okay. So you've been doing this, what, about 5-6 years now?
Yes. Yep. Started in 2019. Yep.
Okay. So I understand you have an upcoming event you want to talk about a little bit today?
So we have our annual community picnic. It's held at Hackley Park. It's a free event. It's free food, hot dogs, hamburgers, everything you need for a picnic. We got games, activities for the kids. And usually we have some live entertainment, which I'm still in the process of working on. And yeah, it's just a free event for the community, just to give back, to show you that we care.
Oh, awesome. Okay. And that's the 20th of June.
Yes, sir. The 20th.
What time will it be taking place?
From 1 until 8 o'clock.
Okay. And do you still need volunteers to help with this event?
Absolutely. I was working on Sign Up Genius, to where people can sign up and come out and help us, serve food and just support the community.
Okay. Okay. Well, so and if folks want to, you said they can go to Sign Up Genius. Any other way they can contact you if they have questions?
They can contact me at 231-284-9932. That's the office cell phone number. And feel free that you can text that number also.
Okay. Now, you said the office. Are you in a building, or you have your own location now?
Yes, we're located in North Muskegon, right at the Four Corners, 318 Center Street, suite number 8.
Okay. And I love to talk to people who kind of started with an idea or an inspiration to kind of turn into something. If you don't mind, let's talk a little bit about this process of going from, hey, let's feed some kids, to now we create this nonprofit. I'm sure it's been a learning experience for you, hadn't it?
Yes, it has. Every day is a learning experience.
Yeah. So what's that been like once you got into it? It's like, we need to create an organization. What's that process been like?
Oh man, it's first getting the 501c3 to proclaim that we're a nonprofit. You got to put your paperwork in and get that from the federal government, and then you got to get your tax ID, which is you have to have a business license. I didn't know about all these things, but I had to become legit to where I could take donations, especially cash donations from the community and stuff like that. So I just wanted to make a real business out of it and do something in the community that the community needs. I don't want services that we already have. I wanted something unique. A lot of other organizations may have you do a lot of different things to get help and support, but my thing is that if a man or woman comes to your organization and asks for help, they already put their pride aside to come in there to ask for the help, give them what they want, and let the Lord sort it out later.
Yeah, that's a big part of that is how we treat people when they come to ask for help, because that can be just a humbling thing to even ask for help. Especially men. We'll sell just about everything we have before we ask somebody for help.
Absolutely. I've had men come in there and, telling me horror stories about going to organizations and the things that they had to do. And they crying, walking out the office saying that, you made me feel like a person, and And I just appreciate, you and your organization, what y'all do for the community. And it's things like that that drive me to want to do more for the community, where you can touch people and do different things like that.
Okay. What kind of responses have you, obviously, your nonprofit, we go by, donations and contributions. What's the response been from the community when you look for donations and financial support?
Um, you know, um, I find that, sometimes the community is a little leery about, donations.
Mm-hmm.
But, I assure you that, since I started this, I don't make $1 out of this. I do this out of kindness of my heart. I'm
Yes.
retired military. I
Okay.
started this organization using my own savings account to start everything, even buying thousands of dollars of food to stock my food pantry and giving it all away. You know,
Mhm.
but
Sure.
the community, helps out, with donations. So it's gotten a lot better, and I appreciate that from my community.
Yeah. Now, talk about the role for faith plays for you and your wife in doing this.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Talk about the role that your faith plays in you and your wife and taking on this venture.
So, like I was telling you that, we were sitting on the couch watching TV and this thing came up. When you become a man and you have life experiences and you ask yourself, ask the Lord, like, what can I do
Mm-hmm.
to make things better? Things is bad, but I don't know what to do. But when the Lord touch you and tell you, this is what I need for you to do, I'm going to make it happen for you.
Okay.
So with that being said, when the Lord directs you to do something, I mean, you just do it. You just jump in it both feet, and I ain't
Yeah.
turned back since.
All right. Okay. And so this has been a journey you and your wife have been on for the last few years. And have you got any thoughts or ideas about where else you want to go with this, or where is it taking you to?
Now, I would love, once I get things a little bit better, is to have a community center. So
Okay.
I need a steady stream of income to whereas I can create a community center. At this community center, I will have affordable daycare because the prices of daycare has risen.
Sure.
Affordable daycare and it's going to host a bingo hall because I want to have my own bingo hall, which is going to be a source of income that's coming into City Boy to whereas we can purchase food and personal hygiene items, everything that we normally do, everything to give to the homeless people and people that's just in need.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Bingo hall, the office space will come there. So we'll be doing our in-house thing for the community right out of the office. So that's what I'm working on.
So the steps of getting there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So let's talk about your event in June. We'll make sure people get that information. It's June the 20th. It's a free day, family day for folks to come out. Uh,
yes.
you said games, prizes. I mean, you already do enough every day. So what was the idea behind doing this community day at Hackley Park?
Okay. So again, my inspiration came from the pandemic.
Okay.
So being social had totally been shut down. We
Mm-hmm.
wasn't able to go out to eat, in-house, anything where a large congregation of people would be at. All of that had stopped. So my first event was right when the government took the hold off to where we can have social gatherings. So well,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, everybody been shut in so long. Let's have an event at the park. Bring everybody out. Let's have some free food and let's just love on one another and have some fun and socialize again. So with
Mm-hmm.
that is my inspiration, behind this event.
So how many years have you had the annual event at Hackley
This
Park?
this will be the fourth year. This is fourth annual.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for people maybe that not in our community, what's it like when you have this event down there that day? What's the atmosphere like?
Oh man, it's families running around, kids running around. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to know that you had your hand in putting this together. People sitting down, eating, talking, having a good time in front of the stage, listening to the artists play the music. It's
Mhm.
just a great experience. I just walk around and talk to people.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm glad you came down, brought the kids, and let's just have a good time. So
Okay. Now, I don't know if I asked you, are you a native of Muskegon or did you relocate here?
Originally from Detroit. When
Okay.
I came to Muskegon and in the summer of '83,
Okay.
and went to Heights, graduated from Heights in '84, and went straight into the military.
Okay. Um, a lot of times when people talk about this idea of community, they kind of have in their mind how they grew up, neighborhoods they grew up in.
Mhm.
Is that still viable, or are we trying to create something different? Especially when we talk about, again, people getting out their homes, meeting their neighbors, giving a hand to other people in their community. What's your thoughts on that?
You know, people getting together, different walks of life, different color people just getting out, talking to one another,
Hmm.
experiencing one another's cultures and stuff like that is just great. To have people out socializing, and
Hmm.
and with the political climate and all the different things going on, just to have people out having a good time,
Yeah.
and not based on what political party you with. We just all here. We're going to celebrate and have a good time today. Bring our kids together and our families, and let's eat and be merry.
Yes. That's awesome. And tell folks again if they want to help with the event on the 20th, how can they reach you?
Okay, you can reach me at 231-284-9932. That's the office cell phone number. You can also text that number. I'm in the process of doing a sign up genius, and I'm gonna announce that later. You can go on our Facebook page, the City Boy Facebook page, and look for information. I'm gonna be posting that soon. And there's another thing I wanted to tell you about is I mentioned it, but it's bingo. So
Okay.
we have a bingo every Monday at Select Bingo, no, at Select Auditorium on Laketon, and that's how we are able to raise some revenue to keep everything free.
Okay.
So the doors open at 4 o'clock on Mondays. First game begins at 6 o'clock. So for all you people out there that love to play bingo and want to support City Boy, come out to the bingo game and just help support.
Okay. You said that's Mondays at Select Auditorium?
Yes,
Okay, so that's way for, again, and one of the things you said earlier is you got to have kind of a revenue stream to help support these activities.
yes.
Um, in the 6 years you've been doing this, have you brought on any consistent volunteers or people to kind of help you and your wife on a regular basis?
We have some volunteers that come in and help on a regular basis, but we have a partnership with Michigan Works. So we have different people that come up that's
Sure.
doing community service and things
Mhm.
like that, and get an opportunity to work with the people. And working with the people is you got to have a good mind for that. And if you go on Google and read my Google reviews,
Mhm.
my staff and I make sure that we make everybody that come through our doors comfortable and happy, and we try to give them whatever that they come in there for. If we don't have it there, I put a word out to the community through our Facebook page and let them know what we need, and those particular donations come in. So it's a community effort
Rob,
all the time.
talking to you, and you can, when you talk to people, sometimes how they are comes through, and I see talking to you. One of the big things is this idea of how we talk to people and respect people and treat people. I see
Absolutely.
that's a big thing with you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. We talk about interacting, whether it's, volunteers in Michigan Works, and sometimes people, even those cases, have challenges, or volunteers or people that you help, as more than just giving them those things. Sometimes it's just taking a few minutes to hear what's going on in their life, and what they're dealing with.
Yes, it is. I mean, when I do the interview, the intake with the person that comes in, I'm asking like, what brings you in? They say, well, we don't have no food at our house. I'm like, I can help you with food, but how did you come on these circumstances? You know, do you need help filling out some paperwork to get assistance? You know, do you need some help from Health West? I know the caseworkers there. I can call them. I'm just interviewing them, find out what their problem is, and get them the necessary help. Most of the time, while they're there, even calling the caseworkers and have them talk to the caseworkers and see what they need to do so that they can get served and they can be in a better situation.
Yeah. So as part of this, I guess if you've done this, if you've gotten a chance to know some of the other services that are out there that maybe you don't do, you can connect other people with.
Yes, absolutely, I do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, you said this is a venture you and your wife have taken on together. A lot of people, sometimes the husband goes one way, the wife goes another way, or it's one person's dream. What does it mean for you that you guys are doing this together?
Well, back to what you said, my wife went her way. So she's following her career right now,
Uh-huh.
and it's just me that's running City Boy. But my
Okay.
wife helps me as far as the event planning and all the the scenes things
Uh-huh.
that need to be done, as far as filling out paperwork and stuff like that. But I mean, we work on it all the time. We talk about it, and we see how we're going to expand City Boy, and different things that we're going to do.
It's a team effort, though. I
It's,
mean, you can't take on this kind of thing and not have a supportive partner.
that's right.
Yeah.
It's always a team effort.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. We did have a comment. I maybe have your thought on this. Just someone they wanted to encourage in what you were doing. They had some concerns about bingo and whether that maybe was any concern of yours that that's a form of gambling that might be a detractor for some people.
Um, well, I utilize bingo
Mm-hmm.
to raise funds for City Boy. I mean, it's a lot of money to run a nonprofit, and I just couldn't keep utilizing my savings to fund something and basically give everything away. So I had to find a steady revenue stream, you know, because just asking people for donations is, I mean, it's hard. You
Yeah.
know, I would say one year I maybe received maybe $3,500
Mm-hmm.
in donations. However, the overhead with the food and the mobile pantries and everything was like $35,000 a
Mm-hmm.
year, and that gap has to be met. So I'm able to do what I'm able to do for the committee. I understand that it's gambling,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to find a way to fund this, or I have to close the doors.
Sure.
So
And I mean, I'll add some commentary. Whether it's alcohol, whether it's gambling, there's some people that do it responsibly, and they go play a few cards and then they're done. What we don't want people doing is, their rent money, their light bill money, money for
right,
food. Let's set that to the side. If you got some extra, let's do best bingo with that.
right,
Yeah, and I know it's and I don't want to put that on you. For any nonprofit, and there's several that use bingo as a fundraiser.
mhm,
We do know in Michigan, you're required, any type of these things are licensed. The state's required to put some money out there for
mhm.
supporting people that have gambling addiction, those kind of things. So I don't want to. It was a question. I don't want to put that on you. People have to have some personal accountability as well.
Absolutely,
Yeah. It's just been a pleasure. I think we talked a few years ago, maybe right coming out of the pandemic. I think we talked a couple of years back, and it's just exciting to see how things have grown, how the mission has just gotten bigger for you, and how your heart's still the same of wanting to help people. So we're just
absolutely.
really really excited about that. In your own words, invite people to come out to the event on June 20th.
If you're not doing anything on June 20th, bring yourself, your family, your grandkids, your neighbors, and come out to Hackley Park, downtown Muskegon, and let's all have a good time. It's going to be free food, entertainment, and let's just come out and just have a good time with and enjoy one another. And look, I want to add that today we have a mobile pantry down at Community United Methodist Church, and it starts at 4 o'clock.
Okay,
So if you need some food, there's no questions asked. There's no nothing. Just come pull up, and we'll give you the food.
that's awesome. Ron, we just love the work that you're doing in the community. Um, we encourage people to come out on the 20th, have a good time. I understand you're still looking for a band, so do we need to put out an appeal for a band, or we just got to get some
Yes,
details worked out? So,
yes. I'm
uh,
just working on details.
okay, good. So we'll look forward to the music, the food, more importantly, just a chance to kind of just get out, have a good time, and interact with folks in our community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Rob, thank you so much for coming on the program today. Anything else we didn't cover? I want to make sure we get, while you have this microphone, we get a chance to cover everything you guys are doing and make people aware of everything the City Boy is doing.
There's one more thing. So City Boy we have our own app. So if you go to Google Play or the App Store and type in City Boy Corp, that's CITIBOI Corp, CORP. The app is absolutely free. It's how I can reach out to the community and let them know everything that's going on, what I'm working on, everything. So as it's just like my own Facebook. So I can go on there and let people know absolutely what's going on in the community in real time.
Okay, I apologize again. Um, Having a little issues with the internet. You said you have your own app.
Correct.
You can get it on Google Play.
Google Play and the App Store.
Okay, and what's the name of your app?
It's City Boy. Just type in City Boy Corp.
Awesome, awesome. That's pretty awesome there. So we'll encourage people to get the app and download it if they can. Way to contact you directly.
Yes.
Rob, again, thank you so much. It's City Boy Court North. Is that the correct name? Am I saying it right?
No, it's just City Boy Corp, CORP.
I don't know where I got
Short for corporation, yes.
I don't know where I got the North part from. it's City Boy Corp. It's CITIBOI. Thank you so much for the work you're doing in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you for putting up with the technical problems we're having here today.
No problem.
Want to give you an invitation to come back on the show anytime if you got some things going on. We'll keep encouraging the community about your event in June.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, folks. It's City Boy Corp. We're going to take a short break here and we'll come back and close out our program for today.
As an Olympic athlete, I prepare for everything. So when I became pregnant, I thought I was ready. But at 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with severe preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Looking back, had I known the warning signs, I would have talked to my doctor sooner. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
All right. Good afternoon. As I said earlier, I wasn't in the studio. I was at a family funeral day, and I want to again offer my condolences to the Rush, Nason, White, Bradford families had a loss. You know, at the funeral today, I heard a comment, and one of the things I talked to my daughter and some of my nieces and nephews about this idea of legacy. What is it that you want to be known for? What's the imprint that you want to leave in this world? And the one of the folks that spoke at the funeral said, if your life didn't have impact, your funeral will not matter. We don't live our life for our funeral, for our homegoing service, whatever you want to call it. But people will say things about us at the end of our life, and they should matter. Not that we do it to put badges on our chest, but we all leave some kind of legacy, whether you plan on it or intend to do it or not. You will leave some type of legacy. In today's program, we talked to two different people who talked about ways to get involved to volunteer in the community, to give back, to make your life matter beyond yourself. And so as we close out the program today, I want to encourage you to do that. You know, we always say go out and be a blessing, but there's so many opportunities for you to step outside your door and help somebody else. You don't necessarily have to join an organization. You don't always have to come out of your pocket, but there are more than ample opportunities for you to find a way to make an impact in somebody's house, somebody's family, and somebody's school, and somebody's community. So I want to kind of encourage you. I want to challenge you. I want to provoke you, and whatever else I can do to get you to maybe think of life beyond yourself. And what is it you want people to say about you? Now, we used to say, what do you want people to write on your tombstone? That's a little morbid. But what is the legacy you're leaving? What are the things you're leaving behind here that are really going to matter to people? What's the difference that you're making with the time you spend here? All right. That is our closing thought for today. Gregory T., I will look for you back in the studio next Friday. We'll be back with more exciting guests, exciting interviews, and continue to inform the community. Friday, the April 10th, I am Melvin C. Burns II. This is Community Focus. Be blessed.
The wait is over. The all-new Umoja Radio Network, home to over 40 Black-owned radio stations and podcasts, is here for you. Connect to the world's fastest-growing collection of unapologetically Black and proud media, from podcasts to independent Black-owned radio stations, and access to the important news and music you need. Umoja Radio is from our culture, by our culture, for our culture. The all-new Umoja Radio is available right now on Google Play and the Apple Store. Join the movement. Be empowered.